Open access now to the side itself, but dominating this angle right here, Verno wins out. Vitally important one, so A main no longer a worry. MIBR can settle in a little bit here, and they're digging deep into the extremities of the site. It's going to be a very difficult retake to try and attempt if you are Cloud9.
They've got so much post-plant utility for this. Fragment grenades, salvos coming through, pull on the post-plant as well. It looks almost impossible for Cloud9.
There's a nade, flash in your face if you add sin, but you just want to be buying time, staying alive for as long as humanly possible. Cloud9 able to dissect various portions of it, but as you said, the post-plant util, a little bit too much to overcome, to be honest, so big knife against the back wall here. Mitch is under a lot of pressure. Heat's being turned up against him, flash in your face as well. Needs a bit of help, and a bailout potentially. Run and gun is ordered up here from Artisan. Reset of the aim, rifle in hand, Zephyr. Delivering death from above. Leaves it into that 2v2. Oxy creeping, crawling up onto the angle. Cortesia, sharp, precise. Watchful eye onto it, defends it, gets the plant down now. Leaves Vic in a very awkward spot. Has to isolate these fights nicely and just weaving in and out, disjointing all of this, and somehow Artisan's the one who's taking contact, taking point, and this is MIBR being dismantled in the process, just trying to play and weave in and out here, but caught into the corner. Verno's got nowhere to run. Left up to Cortesia and Shannon, see if they can pick up the pieces and make something of the rest of this round.
They're so far out of this play, though. Oxy's got an operator on the other side of the map. They have to retrieve the spike in A main. C9 with a triple lock have just destroyed that A main hold that MIBR were trying to take. They needed to get ASPAS into position so that he could ult and exec into the site. Looks towards Secret, spots that Secret's completely clear. Now ASPAS can think about ulting maybe towards Flowers.
He saves it.
In the midst of all of that as well, and here it is, convergent pass in through the back, because that's a big connection to multiple players. Armageddon keeping these players locked into position, trying to escape to the side net, and found himself the slightest of pockets to try and play in. Now making their ways forwards. It's a no command, let rip, but as it emanates out, it just points the perfect direction for Zephyr to spam through the wall and off onto the flank. Oxy, bide your time, wait it out. You've been handed a freebie. He's going to claim it. It's left now just to Shannon.
Last player standing.
Spike down, he's got a lot to do in this spot. To tap it despite the force out that pull, almost ISOing these fights from an attempt of it still through the cloud burst. And up in the air, that's Oxy, shorty in hand.
And that's the spike.
Knife thrown, and oh my god, stomping up through B long. That's a critical kill at that. Zephyr taking out Steel Garden. An abundance of util now being thrown forwards and straight into the two players waiting it out. MIBR in a very good spot. Cosmic Divide partitioning this one up as well. It's blind fires from the Shockies, an attempt to try and dismiss most of this one, and the adjustments of Oxy just not quite on target. And at this point, Cloud9 going to be considering different course of action. They just pick up that operator, and they don't even want to play into it.
Yeah, especially with Vic being able to retrieve the op. This is definitely a save call here.
And Hunter's Fury, hold on, this is a bit reactionary. Mitch is looking to try and punish out through mid. Sending up a couple of pot shots, and Vic just lands a shot onto Artisan. He was cut up away, isolated from the rest of his team.
They clearly don't realize the spike has been dropped in such an open location, because otherwise they could be taking a fight over towards here. Oxy.
Their backs are just open completely towards us, and ASPAS may have just realized he has the timing! Oxy just peeks back around again, understanding that, wait a second, massive opening, and right under sewers, just being caught out into the water. Shanum no more. 2 versus 4. Cortesia, an attempt as well to salvage the round. Now the spike is in the hands of Verno, and they're making their way to an open site.
They are, but there's still an early warning Cypher trip down long.
30 seconds
And I'm not sure how much is left on that gate crash. No, it dissipates. So it's going to be very long rotations from Xenon, even with the perfect info off this Cypher hat.
Verno got stunned up there by the trip. Still, it's going to be able to stick this plant down in time. Cloud9 quickly realizing. Missed a beat with this one. Still, MIBR doubled up. Verno and Cortesia. Salvo's online for Verno as well to stall and delay this one, but you can see them aggro, aggressive positions. Looking to see if they can turn it into a 2v2 before this retake even gets started. Oxy trying to clear most of the way here. He's out wide though, and his team nowhere near still. Doubled up almost there in time. Leaves it just down to Verno. Primed, holding it with the salvos. That's off the first tap. forcing these players forward. Stunned up, has to ISO every single fight coming in his way. But a stray spam by Net, counter spam in order as well to push this guy back. Cortesia has been spotted though, and now getting a bit of a run on and a move on. No trade in sight. Cortesia not to be removed. And now firmly embedded in through mid. This is causing all sorts of worries into the back of the Cloud9 players' minds. Dimensional drift out wide, doubled up. And a swift dismissal. That's ASPAS in through the back of the halls, rifle in hand. Seals up the round.
Fighting pretty aggressively on the lurk, so if you pick him off, then suddenly the vice wall's down.
Just spotted out. Tagged up there, slow to a crawl. One bullet to the head will finish him off here. Open access though. They might be able to get themselves into the A site, get a plan down.
You don't even need to flank retake here because you're always worried about the flank as MIBR.
It's
the threat's there.
Armageddon, this is a lot of ults being laid down on top of it. Saturate to try and slow them to a crawl. Fights being taken in through the back of the site. The positions you can play in, kind of isolated right now. There's a lot of chaos thrown in. Time ticking though with a spike drop down here. Shaynam pushing back, looking for that free fight. Leaves it just down to Verno, 1v3. Flash through the wall. It's going to be primed, ready, waiting now for Cloud9. Still suppressed for the time being, but a quick pick off onto Artisan. Here it is. Slowed down now, in through the back, and this is it. The go button has been hit. ASPAS looking to lay claim to a couple of more lives where he's at least hunting, but now scurrying straight backwards, and there's Oxy in your face. Shorty in hand once more still. MIBR have control of this one, but it's quickly being wrested away from them. There's a 2v2 scenario. Cloud9 in the midst of it. First tap, forcing out that pull. Salvos are on 4 next. That's Verno here. Zephyr. Another tap, forcing it wide. He is stunned up. Bit of damage into the process. Time is of the essence. Half win-cons earned, but here it is. ASPAS. Slight bit of bait, and he just has to take the peek anyway. Bullets flying through into the box.
Getting one is even good there for him, to be honest.
It is.
They were completely pre-firing his position.
Zeppa's been embedded in A main. The team will call back towards him.
And Zeppa, despite being down 5-7, has been a monster individually. Will have his opportunities in this attack half as well, especially with Oxy going down, because it puts more pressure on him. Tip of the spear.
No gate crash to get in this time. Just has to contact that with the team.
Down right to the side. Bit of spam from the pixel angle. That is ridiculous stuff from Zeppa, and he's going for even more here. Laying siege to the site, and it's A available. Plant down now, extension into the round here for the pistol. That is in. Stallone making this play. And, wow, okay, net was low enough here. Rapid turnaround. MIBR finding their ways back into this potential pistol, but return of the fire from Mitch. Drop down into pit. Cortesia's going to know at least where one of the players are, but Vic playing the long con. Tuck to the side, and the gamble goes the way. Oh, now he's refracted into the corner. They know exactly where he is.
Oh my God!
Spam just finishes him right off. Uh-oh.
Minus 4,700.
That
Another
is
retaking.
not ideal, and this is flooding in fast as it happens.
Oh, don't show me Artisan's POV. He's got nothing.
Down to the side. He's weaving in and out, though, past these smokes, and again, that's going to be the stun. Lay it down into the back of the hall still. Suppressive fire, lay it down by these Cloud9 players, looking to try and combine their might, and Zephyr with a cleanup. Trade, instantaneous. Shaynam slipped his way in through onto the side, eating at a moment's notice here. TP back to safety, and there's chaos happening in through connector. Gun seeking to be reclaimed here by Artisan, does actually end up picking it up. Tuck to the side, it's an important fight for Net to win out. Disciplined by Artisan, not enough to really survive into the midst of all of that though. Cosmic Divide also going to be isolating, cutting up the site to some degree. MIBR looking to see if they can get themselves into this one. Smoke blooms up. Pull's going to be forced out nice and early here. Cloud9 still working with that player disadvantage, but a bit of spam might just seek to correct that, and indeed it does. Cortesia though, spamming away, sticking away. Someone needs to get on this!
Okay, they're dead.
Housen had picked up 4 in the midst of all of that.
Members of C9 heading his way.
Slow and steady though. It's going to create openings for MIBR to capitalize. Trying to rip off a head or two, Cortesia feeling the heat, and a couple of bullets to the chest, still alive and kicking ASPAS. It's a filthy off angle. Now he needs to dominate this position up through B long. Still taking point. It's a light speed as well, gets out of dodge, so it's going to be a constant nuisance now at the back of the minds of these Cloud9 players, and they want to try and take a fight a little bit further forwards, not anticipating these angles here. Jump spot reveals the hand anyway. It's a gun given up and over. Mitch in a very difficult spot. The squeeze being applied to him. Salvas out wide. A flick, what an adjustment. Mitch Could be an absolutely legendary play. Cooked up 7 bullets left to work with. Just needs the timing, just needs to take it. Waiting for the player to wade right in. Him versus Verno! It's all Verno here today. Developing. Flash into the face. It's going to force that refract immediately straight back. Salvos, Hunter's Fury trying to be used. It's going to ease the pressure that's coming out their way on either side. Maybe a connection onto a player or two, and Shorty's into the smokes. Oxy, he will be able to find that value. Convergent pass in order. Verno dominating his position. Slow to a crawl. Nobody can lay claim to the site. With reinforcements arriving, MIBR. So quick to correct the course of the round. Thrown off to the side, but as I say that, Vic, how have you found that one? Armageddon out. Oh my goodness! What is going on? From the brink, Cloud9 just bring it straight back. They leave it into the hands of Cortesia to see if he can make anything of this round at all.
C9 walking all the way back through spawn to B. Cortesia does have a bit of util there, maybe a flash to get info.
No, I think they've completely cooked him. I mean, he has no idea at the moment. They could be looking to still finish A. They could be clearing out different positions on the site. Only just now is he thinking about backing up and headed towards the other side of the map.
30 seconds left.
And this is going to be so tough because Vic, Midge could be positioned in any number of a multitude of spots. Especially if they bait this wall out. Oh, that's not a bait.
Hard committal. Yeah, Mitch is locked off for at least a few seconds. No worries, though. Slow play by Cortesia.
I don't see how he can deal with Vic up in heaven.
Flash didn't connect. He needs to ISO a fight. He needs to find someone, at least a straggler, potentially. He's sniffed out the position of Vic, but Vic is just top. They're going to try and double play this one. Forward! Shorties again. This guy is making a mockery of the game. Plays in net perfectly.
And now the map has just exploded. MIBR is scrambling to close off the middle here.
Try and pick up any sort of information they can, and kills are found. Cortesia again to be that difference maker. Two-piece Oxy and net cleaned up. In through main, Shanum. Cloud9 players are going to be steadily walking into him, and they are closing in the net. MIBR working their way in behind. Critical kill, Shanum. Collects that one, leaves it into the 2v2, and are they going to be expecting this fast off onto the flank? Cosmic Divide cuts up the site. Stalled out here by the Thorns for now, buying time for MIBR to get these rotates. It's all about whether or not they expect ASPAS to be in a position that he's in. Steel Garden is good. Even better, denying all these weapons, and ASPAS has been given that perfect timing again. Immediately capitalizes, and leaves it all to Zephyr. Very difficult spot to be placed in. 1v2. ASPAS not choosing to play main, just trying to play tucked up close here. Spike, defuse in order, already found the first one. Have earned and a kill on top of it for Cortesia.
Free clear of the round, and they might have a brawl.
Very proactive, they're going to be meeting a lot of presence. As you mentioned, that brawl, the timing is taken against them, and their heads ripped clean off. Oxy rifle in hands, now making moves. Quick play over towards A, and they're looking to shore this one up as well. A fight to potentially be taken. It really is Shanum on a bit of an island. Updraft though, how do you deal with that one? It's a high-low setup, and Oxy, clean sweep so far. He's looking for even more! 4-piece ace on the cards. Dash active. You know this guy is hunting, clamoring for it. He knows it, and Vic steals it away. Cloudburst updraft, dash up and over with a flash to supplement. Oxy is trying to be set up nice and cleanly here. Snap to the side, short in your face, too much to overcome. Even if you are ASPAS, that heaven control is going to be vital now. Oxy lays claim to it, lays siege to it. MIBR slowly being closed out. Any chances of taking this map? More than dwindling at this point. 13 seconds, plenty of time to get this plant down.
I know exactly.
But a play has to be made, and Shanum just not capable of doing it. Big reveal on Artisan. It's the last one left. It's all up to him to stay alive in this map for his team. And Cloud9 know it. They can play the more disciplined game here. Wait for him to take the peek into him, and Owen spots it. Fault line to follow, and here's ASPAS swinging wide to the side. Stun to help him out here, but narrowly avoided and dodged and juked, and Oxy is making the most out of a chaotic situation. 2 picks for him.
Cortesia still has wall on C.
He's going to attempt to slow this one down. Stall it out, try and get these rotations all the way back in, leaping into the fight like a salmon upstream. Able to trade out these kills into a 2v2 now with a pistol round. Net, plant down. There's no stopping this one, and control towards CT is called for.
And a push.
Oh yeah, all the way deep as well. Oh my God, just missing the moment there, and just seeing, spotting the shoulders. Net, he's taking a bullet there for his brethren. That was meant for Vic. And now forced to back away, isolated into this fight here, paranoid up. Can't see much in this spot. He's got to know roughly the positioning of these players, but tucked up now, tight to pillar. It's all a gamble. It's all what he's banking on. Spotted, right click, toppling around, man. But tucked to that spot here. Paranoia, though, still going to be sweeping into the back of the side, and Shenum is no more. Quickly taken care of. Plant now for Cloud9 on top of it. Cortesia is making himself known. Getting tripped up in the process. Util's going to be used pound for pound here to try and stall this one out. MIBR still going to make a decent go at this one here, but the one-way reset up into your faces, trying to cross past this one is difficult at best, yet still making the most of it. MIBR still, there's a path to be paved, and it's paved in blood at this point. Vardezi making the most, and good with the movement, at least to stay alive for a moment there from ASPAS, yet Vic is doing the most. 3 kills so far into the round. Cortesia noted. Not much more you can do from this spot. A bit more economical damage.
I'm re-clearing. They're only now arriving to retake.
Now through heaven, the first line of defense is going to be Oxy. Smoke's going to be dissipating at some point. That's his team laying down some util. They know the timings inherently, and as the doors opened up, well, Net's going for a bit of exploration. Quick snap to the side. Hospital flick to dodge the flash, but not enough to dodge the bullets. It's going even ever so slightly, still player disadvantage, but Cloud9 may be able to equalize. Zephyr weaving in and out, Armageddon at your feet. Nowhere to stand, nowhere to hide. You gotta wait out that ult though. Salvo's immediately breaking that one open, but it's a counter. Stunning order. Bucky's in play, still followed up and cleaned up, and it's a rifle obtained. Quick plant now down onto the B site. Rapid plays by Cloud9 seems to be the name of the game. And Vic is hyper aggressive. Could be trying to take this peek into him. ASPAS! Straight transfer. Not quite aligning there, but he's just doing and definitely done enough damage. And to this point for Cloud9, Zephyr and Net, last ones have to stand against most of this. ASPAS running them down and away, and a quick snap to the side. Shenum dismisses and deals with Zephyr almost single-handedly, and baiting Net out wide. 9. Not too many guns to use here. Got to rely onto the util and just try and buy time for the Zephyr lurk all the way through. But Vic has already fallen. Fault line is waiting. Net's going to be in front of this, though. As soon as this one gets sent flying, there it is. Forwards once more. Artisan sticking. They don't really know what to expect from where these players are. And the salvos are not coming out in time. That's half already onto the defuse. Going to try and preempt this one. Send the salvos out nice and early. Cortesia a tap. Pulling these players out wide. Cloud9. The positions are noted. And MIBR, they know exactly what to do into this spot. Up over towards A Rubble. Bit of evade and switch, seeing if they can pull some of this util out blind as anything. Oxy is just slowly crawling towards it, but into the open arms and crossfire setup that MIBR have got cooking and set up. Vic somehow in the midst of all of this one ended up way out of dodge. And he's on the last one left.
He's on defense with an op.
Picked up the stinger. Gonna be waiting for you though. How do you deal with all of this? ASPAS happy. Reset. Fight to be taken. Stun tucked up. Smoke's not going to be helping you out too much when Vic is pulling off magic like this. Like a rabbit out of the hat. Pulls a round out of his ass as well, man. This is just unreal stuff from Cloud9 when they needed it most.
What magicians have you been going to see? I don't
want to know, mate. Yeah. You don't want to know.
It feels like if C9 just go into that quantity of rubble fights, one's eventually got to have a huge play coming out of somebody.
Now finally laying claim to a bit of space onto the B site. Stealth thrown out wide, has to be broken, will do just that. And where are we going, man? Swings and roundabouts, you're just making mad pivots all over the bloody place. And they're trying to go in through baby door. Shenum! Sky could be more than a menace right now. TP just to try and back himself away, and these Cloud9 players are being corralled, picked to pieces. Chomped. These A players could really do some damage. Oxy's already removed one of them. Rolling Thunder to try and disrupt this one. Plan not going to be going down. A bit of raw spam as well coming in through the main choke points. And okay, we're going to be pivoting back over towards A.
Yeah, they'll have a clean post plan here. It's going to be a second before MIBR's rechargeables come back online.
ASPAS realizing it. A lot of contact to be caught up top there. And aftershock to swing. Mitch sets him up nicely. Stealth drone trying to get a handle in terms of the player positions. It's broken, so they know the rough position of Artisan. Still ults are available to be utilized. Zephyr is considering it now. Armageddon held ready, lying in wait, and there it is. It's going to be buying even more time. Well placed. Slight pocket to play in, but Time is being bled out, and the refight up towards heaven is even better still. For Cloud9, they're going to deal with Cortesia, and this guy is not stopping and not slowing down. Time is against him, though. Oh, Marzin's lucky that he's alive, but barely a shred of health left to his name here. They're able to just put a stop to any sort of pressure being applied, but Cloud9 relentless in their approach. It's all or nothing from them. And they're able to clean up and at least follow up, putting a bit of a vice grip on them. Shanum, signs of life for him. He's barely there. He's got the spike in his hand, so he's going to be able to scurry away and potentially get that plant down into A. There's a chance to make it winnable.
Spike planted, cover going out.
7 HP in a dream. Paranoia, but no safe position to use it from. He's just got to hit some ridiculous headshots.
Yeah, this is the spot that he's been placed in, as you mentioned. And Cloud9 are not going to be giving anything away for free. Still there's a chance with timing to be taken. Guns have been looking the other way of things. Smoke propped up. Just out to the side here. Net's going to be sticking this one onto the defuse. Paranoia forward still. It's already just being stuck all the way forwards. And one round for Cloud9. Consolation kills at the end of the day for Shanum. Well, posture, force them to respect the angles. MIBR now going to be going for it. Second wave of the approach. Smoke's going to be fading, and you don't have the weapon at hand to really deal with most of that one. Still stun, ricocheting out towards their side as bodies to be found. Players toppled. Cloud9 still right from behind. It's Oxy with a quick return. Even faster reactions. Spike down and out. Cortesia just rattling off bullets. And Thorns already being used here. Blinds in your face. ASPAS glides to the side, hoping to catch that timing here, and still trying to control this space, but going to be meeting the other end of the shotgun, made into mincemeat on the other side of things here, and now the salvos push them out wide. Oxy's momentum completely stalled out, but the bullets raining them down with lead, and a bit of fire and fury here. It's Cloud9 offset this one, and MIBR going to be finding it difficult, yeah. Just unconventional, a bit awkward at best. Shanum, though, is TP'd right behind him and lines up with these players. Vic is just instantaneous with the return, man. How is he landing these shots? Snappy as anything. It's a 4-piece in a round for him, and one player's left to stand. Cortesia lets them all know. Breaking the trip. But the tension is just... So we're going to see how this one gets used, and ASPAS has been left alone. Sacrificial is the nature of his position in that spot right there. He's going to be taking most of the contact. Rolling Thunder, pushing them back once more, and just trying to hold the line against this net. Perfect time to strike, but the smoke dissipates, and Oxy is revealed. Door needs to open up wide. MIBR winning this one out. He's filling out blood now onto the side, and net just spraying them all down. Bitch! Way can be broken, spells it all out, and this reclearance. Cortesia missed the 2K himself. Offers his team a bit of a lifeline, now trying to enter their way back in, and the shot's just about missing. ASPAS needs some help and needs some bailout. He's trying to play his life, and play it he does to perfection. Weaving back and forth here. Any attempt at the return of the fire from Cloud9 is coming up with naught.
Once more, MIBR get around basically because of Cortesia. It felt like it was happening multiple times on Pearl. Wasn't enough for them in the end, but this guy's had his moments for sure today. In spots where you wouldn't expect it. A 2K with a Guardian. C9 is still going to go for this one, but they are on the outside looking in round 19.
No flashes, no stun. This is going to be difficult.
And ASPAS off angle, loses the first engagement, 6 HP. That's what Mitch has been dropped down to. Util still to be spent out, layered out. It's an Armageddon, trying to force the issue. Verno push round to the side here, and in the midst of all this sound cues and the chaos, he takes himself out. Shanum spotted, and he's the last line of defense for them. Time is ticking with that spike rapidly approaching, and at this point, circle probably already shrinking. Not sure if Net's going to be communicating that. Oxy has found Shanum as the door was just peeking wide open.
Yeah, that's not great. Now no smokes, no paranoia for the post plan. They're going to be relying on Cortesia with his Vice ultimate, with Thorns to try to slow the round down. There go the Thorns.
And the Steel Guardian's going to be even better in the back pocket. Let loose, perfect timing on it. Cloud9 looking to try and get back into the fight rapidly at that. So now we get in to try and layer it all the way down and swapping around with the weaponry. ASPAS, my God. 2-piece again for him. Time has been bought. TP forwards as well, trying to cut up these angles. Mitch has found that first kill inside with the salvos. Enough to buy that time. Pivoting into that B hit. That B main control. Smoke layer down, drop down, and there it is. Judge in hand, net. It's just ripping them to pieces. And now, there's no pivot option. You have to send it. All in is the play to be made. But precision is the name of the game for Cloud9. And Verno, one man left alone. Switch. There's a hard shot to hit, and ASPAS immediately returns with the fire. Look at this guy. Lights out. Plays in Artisan to perfection.
They just ran him over.
It was actually just a great economic investment to have a stinger this round.
Yeah, genius. I mean, yeah. What did Frod say to him? Just run at them? ASPAS, skip through the meadows over towards Mound, man. That's an incredible round for MIBR to suddenly pick up the aggression and storm over C9.
It's a 2v4. Mitch's position is very much known.
They can try and play for this. They have money. Don't have to worry about not being able to rebuy for the potential last round in this one. And if you snap to a couple of more heads, maybe there's a chance of it here. Yes, Rolling Thunder's committed. They think this one's winnable. Already laying siege and laying claim to this site. This is a 2v2 at that. Just missing the timing onto this one, but the phone line is perfection on top of it. Leave it to the 1v1 Mitch. Time ticking. 3 kills into the round, and what a win cons just to dwindle away from him.
C9. Oh, it was a fake on the A fight.
Yeah, trying to at least feign it potentially here. Through B, through C, it's familiar scenes. I've seen this one before, but how do you withstand against it? Heat's been turned up all the way, and they want to take this one to OT in the blink of an eye. Applied now to Shanum. Spotted out here, suppressed, and yeah, capitalize. Quick on the heels is Oxy, and this guy's not giving up any sort of space here. Here's it, dashing up and around here. Stun's going to be overlapped, overlaid. Oxy, do you dare overstep yourself and try and take this one? Peek, forwards, and he's just ahead of the timings. Util's flying forwards. MIBR trying to gear up for this one into the retake, but this guy is unstoppable. It's a 4-piece before finally the rabid dog that Oxy is shut down. And Verno's left to watch in dismay and see how we can just try and find a way through into this round. It's so damn unlikely. 1v4. Cam in your face, too many layers to peel back and find a way through. Util being used all over the place, and he's getting tricky with it again with the TPs! An adjustment! Spray transfer. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. Vic delivers it. Once more, ASPAS alone towards the back, but finally some backup reinforcements arriving. It's Verno. He's quick onto the scene, and a jar with the movement, spraying him down. Mitch left alone to his devices into this 1v1 scenario. 13 seconds left on the clock. This is it. For all the marbles for the series and all, for MIBR to survive at all. Plant stuck down, bullets spread wide and past Armageddon. Forwards, Mitch, what position are you playing in? Narrowly avoiding. And a reposition from Verno could be exactly what MIBR needed. Rotating around, the question is, does Mitch clear it? The answer is no. Well, his team though, happy to back him up here. Off to the side of here, on top of the ropes here with the paranoia flying forwards. Plenty of bodies, plenty of targets. Laying claim here and just firing down from on high. Cortesio making good usage of it. The rest of his team happy to bail him out. Bit of extra firepower. Till and ASPAS is eager to try and lay claim to most of this site. Still angles and pockets to play and weave in and out. Net to 2-piece to be found. The rest of his team, time has been bought for them to try and play themselves all the way back in. Stalemate and pause caught for tempering in the midst of the round. A beautiful moment. And MIBR finding all the success in the world.
Another chance for Mitch in the clutch, this time to save this map.
And a 1v3, this is MIBR just trying to sail all the way to Haven. MIBR not taking any chances. There's a tap to try and pull Mitch out wide and open. Aftershock forwards and eager to draw blood. It's 15-13. He's going to be looking to explode at a moment's notice here, and he spots it. Body's going wide, luckily. There's a complete collapse as well. Bullets are going to be flying forwards here. MIBR going to carve out a bit of a path. Make it nice and even, 3v3.
I love that little sidestep by Verno. You see how he walked super wide, way into A main, and just pulled the crosshair away from the rest of the team. He's allowed it to get back into a 3v3, but Net's utility is covering a lot of the middle of this map.
C9 though, they're only going to really have the breach stun to make this retake happen.
Got you.
And all these players are going to be quite late to actually make it over on the rotation.
So stealth drone in through the back, clears the way. In towards C. Util's going to be dealt with. Cloud9 now happy to set up. Buy their time, try and play this one into the retake.
Shadows traveling.
Shannon still has a paranoia to work with.
Seeing it, fault line flies forward here. Salvo's going to be used actually preemptively here by MIBR. Looking to see if they can find a win con in the midst of all of this here. Vic, it just lights out. Looking for a bit of a skirmish. Fight to be taken here, but that's rapid and quick. Zephyr is just weaving in and out, just trying to survive. But the response from MIBR is just immaculate.
MIBR, if they had not succeeded in this A hit, they wouldn't have had many other options. Had no map control really, except for A and A long. Actually, there was some really nice team fighting from them.
Approaching. He's going to get gifted at least with the possibility of just one fight, but as he's activating the setup, that's when Cortesia strikes. Oh, just the best timing in the world for these MIBR players to be taking.
Two absolutely perfect 1v1s for Cortesia, just wins the round for MIBR. C9 don't want to risk losing this one out, don't have a lot of money left. Their bank would be broken if they lost these guns.
Mitch is clearing out short, wondering.
Down, Addison holding.
Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder, here's the kills collected. Trying to push them back as well as the fight was just about to be taken. Insert to pause unwillingly there for Cloud9. Just being stalled out to such a high degree. Already to Cloudburst though to get themselves back in along with a dart. Whipping it all the way around here. Cortesia off to the side as a salvo's behalf has been earned to win con. The Cloud9 can work with a couple of taps there, bullets flying forwards, just trying to go off the neural theft and the reveals net. Stands his ground, holds it down. Cloud9 finally able to get around. Up and away, he's missed the initial shot. Bladestorm, an attempt to salvage, but ASPAS straight back at it. He's making sashimi out of the rest of the players out onto the side here, and Vic will do quite a bit to try and offset the damage done. Running and gunning, classic right clicks. This is pure carnage.
ASPAS is playing gun game. Goes from the rifle, 2 kills with that, and now a 1v2 for Zephyr.
And he's finding the perfect timing on top of it, but the final boss himself, ASPAS. These mid-round audibles are going to be calling. Look, they're not hard committing. They've got access to the B site, and they're making it very well known. Damage done, multitudes of players, and betrayed by the barrel just poking through. Zephyr is no more. Oxy is going to be joining him, I think, shortly. Skipping a hop over, but Shanum all the more aware for it. At this point, this is a wrap for Cloud9. You've got to try and save these rifles.
Such a cool round for MIBR. They've conditioned these 4-1 lurks, only ever committing where they insta-show or calling back onto their lurk on the other side. Here, for the first time, sending forces towards B, faking C with the spike, and then calling back into it. Really nice mix-up from Artson and the hang at MIBRs.
Cloud9 set up. It's a critical fight is about to be won out potentially. My God, it's labored, but eventually getting it. He's up in the air. He's getting away with bloody murder. Shorty out. You get away with that. ASPAS, why not? Put a cherry on top. Bake me a cake while you're at it.
This is a collapse, a crumble of C9. I mean, that's just tragic. The fight itself is so labored. I don't know whether he was trying to bait out the swing or whether he was actually going for the wallbang shots, but the fact you also land the shorty kill.
Here's the clash and the skirmish. You've already caught the contact of these players, and here it is. Ult offloaded, Armageddon all the way through. That's the paranoia forwards and a TP on bricks. Mass cleanups in order here, and it's Zephyr and Oxy on janitor duty. Just trying to make the most of it. And definitely finding the advantage. And edge they were looking for, still double fighting. This is how you throw it. You do not want to be giving this guy in. Cortesia has been on an absolute tear this entire series. And you may have just given him a lifeline.
Net only as a judge, he wants to get a gun. And Cortesia is defending these weapons.
Hell of a read, but anticipating that it could be in a different direction. And Net's just going to be waiting for the spike to be planted before he can receive that upgrade. Wants to play it safe.
I mean, the trip's there for good information anyway on the flank, so if he has the confidence to go for a plant, he's going to have great info about where Net is coming from.
Cortesia has a camera in the post plant, and there are no cages for Net.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Now it comes down to a game of timings. Both these players are going to be drifting around.
Oh, this is brutal. I mean, it looks like it's planted for CT. It looks like it's planted for Heaven. You're not really going to think about a guy being tucked short, I don't think, here.
Yeah, it's unorthodox. We'll see if Net considers it here. Steadily working, trying to clear up all of those unknowns across the map, but now getting a move on, getting a run on because he can hear it. Spike stuck, but Net none the wiser, and it's all... It's open access, but there are these sight lines that are opened up, and there's no smokes forward after shock. Pushing it back once more. Paranoia is going to be sweeping through anyway, blinding up most of them. Causing it even, though. It's 4v4 as it stands, and tap, a push forwards. This is Cloud9 potentially overcooking because Verno has got a bit of a read on it, but he's just missed the timing onto this one, and the smoke's going to be pushed. Doubled up with the discipline there. Shanum, hard committed, hard stuck into the corner, near sighted as what? And finally, trying to play themselves in. Cortesia! Oh my, finally denied, but he's surely done enough in terms of the damage. Vic, 5 HP, and a dream. The tap. Pulled out.
30 seconds
ASPAS
left.
forwards, and now he knows it's not quite the case. Just hold in for the repush. There's dash in forwards with that dart, but no clearance into the corner. And Cortesia, you can't be doing this to him, son. He's just like trying to take your time with it. And Seba just whips it all the way around. Quick 180. And a spray down in order here. 2 players left to stand for MIBR, looking to try and play into this retake.
ASPAS is still alive, though. And Verno has at least the salvos to try and make something of this.
Last player standing.
Didn't anticipate Vic already being in heaven.
Okay.
It wanders forward and whoa, what are you doing up here?
They can keep the stack on A.
Yeah, and here it is. Flash forward to the fault line as well, but a spam into the smoke on top of it. Lighting these players up, but obviously just can't quite spray them down. Still an attempt to flip back in is punished. Cloud9 got every avenue watched for there. An attempt by MIBR to try and defend that one is immediately dismissed.
Left down into a 2v4. Pretty similar to a previous round, except that Cortesia is in a much nicer spot to make something happen. And it doesn't really look like Mitch is thinking about this. Vic not holding it either.
Yeah, he was just watching it and ended up looking in a different direction. Cortesia, what are you going to be doing? Putting on a bit of a show for us, I think, here at this point. Oxy with a reposition, trying to be smart with it. Cover the avenues. Make sure that he's that backup policy, lying in wait, and finally tapping away with the Guardian and hand, a bit of precision. And Calm ordered for in the middle of the round. Shaynum's going to be doing a lot of damage, though, to the economy.
No, I can't.
You can go.
You're forced into it. All right, I'll do it. Half a mouthful, Oxy up and over, up, down, down with the Paranoia up.
Maybe I'll let
He's
you
going
go
to
for a
play That's a
second.
full reveal into the back. Shorty in hand. He's going to try and make a go of it. Decapitating towards easier. Had to mid-gulp in the middle of all that action.
MIBR set up for the retake here. 3 players working back in through garage. Drone realizes there's no one on a lurk, but Oxy in a position to make the difference.
Sidestep. Beautiful movement. And Oxy's going for a little bit more there with a dash to disengage. Weaving in and out. This is a hard chokehold at Cloud9. So they put a stop to it. It's a rolling thunder. And immediately, look at that. ASPAS just pounces. Verno by his side. What can't this team do? You said it, Mimi. You need an ASPAS round, something to really set the momentum back on MIBR's side, because they've been losing grip so far in this half.
Has to be net now. A chance here in mid.
No more charges left.
Just poking and prodding for now.
Yeah, not confident enough to actually go for that one. Maybe wondering if there was a trip that he was going to meet, but I think he would have heard it at that point. Didn't want to take the timing through the doorway, though. Cam above on the door frame. And he's content at this point to just try to dismantle what's going on the other side of the map.
ASPAS was quick to try and rotate away from this one here, narrowly avoiding most of the stuns coming his way, but 37 seconds left. This is going to be a quick pivot. Call for by Cloud9. Net doesn't actually have too much space here when he's making this call.
They saw a breach in Jet there. Know it's likely to be the Cypher site on C. But still, MIBR have good tools to win a retake here in the 5v3.
I need a few more picks, though. As you said, MIBR have all the tools to really stop this one here already. The salvo's going to be used. Sprayed out. Net has got to be careful. Narrowly avoided most of this one, but stunned up and straight through the wall here. And here he is, fast onto the flank. That's Shaynum. Looking to try and put a stop to this one. Now the spike did go down, but the heat applied in through the back. Shepard wins. Critical fight at that, but he's got a lot more to do. And against ASPAS, improbable just looks impossible.
And I want to see that first kill from ASPAS again at the...
Been yearning for a chance like this. Looking for a few more as well. This is Cloud9 getting a little bit too aggro. And still Vic trying to hold that one down. Wasn't he stunned in the midst of all of that still? Pushed out into the open anyway and eventually will fall. Cleaned up.
But Bren, the C side is open in all that chaos. C9 will get a post plant here.
John's going to be used to try and clear out a way in through garage. Smokes are down, you can play off site if you want to, and it looks like that's a call going to be made here by Cloud9. Everybody playing down to long.
Yeah, they're falling off site because of the lack of smokes, but Mitch has full breach util, so they could actually want to fight back into this.
Could get dangerous.
No cages on Cortesia.
Time's not ticking too hard just yet. Updraft up, it's a high ground perch, but Oxy's immediately ripping heads clean off. And he wants even more. It's dash, proct, anticipating a swing from a specific type of angle, and ASPAS is the one to deliver it still. It's getting away from him now. Flash, util, it's in abundance here for Cloud9. Seppa with the plant, nothing to push it back. A lot of tension in the air here, a couple of pot shots flying forwards, but now with a util. It's a more concrete effort here from MIBR to see if they can lay claim. Dice up, section up most of this side here. Cartesia right from the side. Oxy! He's unleashed! Oxy going to be thinking twice about this one, and it's more time for rotates on top of it. So MIBR shore up the defense, bring up the barricades. But now they've got to withstand most of this util coming their way. Oxy! Set up for success. Mitch might be sitting at the bottom, but the util was perfection and still an attempt to flood in by MIBR. They want to go for it. It's quirky with the movement, but half committed at best. They're just not really trying to lay claim in through the back of the site, and finally, here they come. Shanum, Cortesia, expecting something. Mitch from the side, out of nowhere. And Cloud9 find the 11th.
The man who came into this half pied, shows up and drops a massive 2K to keep his team in it. Oxy had 10 health for these kills. Back-to-back perfection from the young man in backside C.
Beautiful as apple pie. Gorgeous little play from Mitch. Gorgeous little play.
He says chowing down on the pie again.
Yeah, well, here it is. One last chance for MIBR in regulation. Can they close out this series? Or is it going to be going to OT? Cloud9, slow and steady. Cautious beginning. Orb's going to be given up here, so Verno earns himself the ult. Everybody walking up past this lurking smoke, but that's going to be dissipating! Idiot step just a one before the instantaneous trade-off. Now you're seeing it, neural theft. That's going to be giving a bit of a indicator of what's going on, and net narrowly avoiding instant defeat.
I think he took a tick of the damage there, didn't he? So he was probably only a frame or two away from dying.
And here comes the pivot option, straight through B. It's a new look for Cloud9. Most of his rounds have been ending on C. Still, reveal up. Mitch is going to be leading the charge for his team, trying to get in there. There's no pushback from MIBR.
And there's no smoke for the retake either.
MIBR just trying to find positions to try and play this retake from, but split up across the board.
You have to look to ASPAS in garage.
He's going to be taking a peek soon enough. Mitch, a timing to be taken, but he's got his head on a swivel. Both of them trying to hold this one in through the back. That's Vic just trying to narrowly avoid most of that, but stunned up here. Barrel. So ASPAS trying to bait the shot as well to try and favor himself in a setup for the fight. And even with that whip setup, Seppa somehow misses it. This is being stuck all the way, surely. Defense in order. That's how MIBR win it. 13-11. And my God, what a finish to the series.